Now, there's a saying, you can tell a lot about a place and its people by how they play. And when it comes to sports in this province, we really can play well. Kate Bird is an author and a professional librarian, and her latest book revisits magic moments in BC sports. Kate, hi, welcome back.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, I can see the potential for so many stories here. So what got you interested in BC sports moments?
Well, I'm a big sports fan, and when I worked as a librarian at the Vancouver Sun and Province, I did a lot of sports stories over the years. I did This Day in Olympic History before the 2010 Olympics and different pieces over the years. So I knew a lot of the photographs that were in the collection, and Greystone Books, who I worked with for my other two books, wanted a sports book, so I was all in.
Okay, you're all in, but you've got a lot to work with, as you
That's
point
right.
out. As many decades of sporting events. How did you choose? How did you sift through them?
Well, I was looking for great photos, which I remembered from the collection taken over the years. There's some classic photos, of course, well-known athletes from BC, of which there are so many. And I also was looking for other sports, recreational sports, community sports, which are participated in by so many people, you know, the Sun Run, and also some more representation from women and ethnic groups, you know, to have more diversity. So I wanted a broad range, not just the sort of top athletes from BC.
Right. Well, as I was, thumbing through the book, there are so many recognizable faces in here. But what were some of the stories or moments that really stood out for you?
You know, some of the early days were really memorable. I had to do a lot more research for the early days. And for instance, a woman, Anne Marat, when she was 13, she swam from Vancouver to Bowen Island, 22 kilometers in the 1930s, you know, things that I didn't know about. And I wanted to bring attention to some of those unknown, less known stories.
And what about the better known stories that are represented here?
Oh, you know, the Miracle Mile in 1954 British Empire Games here in Vancouver, which, you know, was the first really big event that BC hosted and kind of put BC on the map because of the Miracle Mile race between Landy and Bannister. And you know, the 1994 Commonwealth Games, and of course the 2010 Winter Olympics.
Of course, the 2010 Winter Olympics. So as you look through and as you've been going through, you know, archival photographs or anything stand out in terms of trends?
Well, you know, there are some photographs from the 1950s when photographer Charlie Warner at the Vancouver Sun was experimenting with color. There's some great photos, one of Irene McDonald, a diver, some rowers in Cole Harbour, and also the Mounties baseball team. They're beautiful early color photographs. So those were really fun, as well as when the Expo 86 happened in 1986, of course. That's when both of the newspapers switched to all color photography.
I see. Well, you're talking about BC women making a splash or making history. There's Silken Lauman is
Right.
in here, Karen Magnuson, Debbie Brill, Nancy Green. As I was going through it, it's just like, wow, I remember that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Christine Sinclair is there, you know, so many more. And less known ones, such as, you know, BC has a champion MMA female fighter, Julia Budd.
Oh, fantastic. So what do you hope readers will take away from a book like this?
Well, you know, there's, as a fan, we love our heroes and heroines of BC sports, and sometimes people will remember an event they were at, and also to learn a little bit more about things they may not know about from our sports history.
Okay, and I want you to pick out one favorite moment now in this that maybe we didn't know about.
That we didn't know about. Well, there's a photograph of the Gill family. They raced racehorses, and there's a picture of them on page 40 and some of those family members. That's from winning a race at Lansdowne Park, and some of the family members are coming to the book launch, and I'm really excited about that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Have you had some great feedback?
Yeah, for instance, from them and the little girl in the arms of Betty Banto Gill is coming to the launch, and her sister. So I'm very excited about that.
Fantastic. I can't get enough of it, really. It's a wonderful trip down memory lane. Kate, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks.